Previously on the Gospel of Friar Tuck, Episode 1.
God bless you all. Welcome to Holy Trinity Church. I am Father Albert Tuck, your new priest, and this is my first sermon in Nottingham.
I announce His Excellency Baron William de Wendenall, High Sheriff of Nottinghamshire.
In the last 2 months, we've seen the rise of a new Sherwood gang hell-bent on revolt. Their leader is a dangerous upstart from Loxley and one of the best archers in Nottinghamshire. We receive daily reports of highway robbery in Sherwood. Knights, nobles, even the Bishop of Hereford's train was robbed this morning.
And what is the true purpose of your nightly quest, Sir Marion? Wouldn't you rather just hash out this lover's quarrel with Robin Man since you're dressed as one now?
This is not a lover's quarrel, Bess. He is an outlaw who stole my money. I will fight him and take it back. I am ashamed to see the once kind boy I knew grow up only to become a stupid, aimless fool.
I am trying to help the poor.
How? You have no long-term battle plan. You don't even understand what you're really fighting. You can pat yourself on the back as a self-proclaimed people's champion, but how does robbing the rich actually solve anything?
Good looking, great fighter. By the devil, you really let a prize fish get away. Loathes you now, doesn't she? She was right. You are a terrible outlaw.
Daughter, the time has come to grow up. Ellen, a suitor has made an offer for your hand.
What? You're marrying me off? Just who are you demanding I marry?
Sir Stephen de Bracy.
Sir Stephen? He's older than you, Father. You can't expect me to marry that horrible, wrinkled lizard. I love Alan. I won't marry anyone but him.
Oh, so you're Alan Adale, the minstrel who keeps singing songs glorifying Robin Hood? Alan Adale, as High Sheriff of Nottinghamshire, I find your music to be supporting lawlessness and forbid you from playing in my territory. Guards, seize him!
Alan, run!
So young Alan Adale is now run out of town, and sweet Ellen Lindsay is to marry that cretin Sir Stephen? How horrible!
So, here we stand. Two wet fools bandying in a stream, a terrible priest and a terrible outlaw, with neither anything to fight for anymore.
And thus nothing to lose. I have an offer for you.
What offer is that, Robin Hood?
Tonight, a merry Sherwood feast in your honor, and in 1-2 days' time, a chance to save Alan Adale and Ellen Lindsay from a cruel fate, and find our purpose again.
Will this feast have wine?
We rejoin our tale of adventure at Holy Trinity Church in Nottinghamshire.
Make way for the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Get out of my horse's way, peasants. You'll be trampled if you don't.
My lord!
Sister Hickleby, you reported Robin Hood near Holy Trinity Church?
One of our orphans saw the outlaw just this morning. Robin Hood attacked Father Tuck out in the stream behind the chapel. The child ran and told me she'd seen the two of them dueling. By the time I got there, they were both gone. It's clear as day what happened, my lord. Robin Hood has taken Father Tuck hostage.
While the residents of Nottingham ponder the whereabouts of their new priest, the famous outlaw Robin Hood leads a blindfolded Tuck through Sherwood Forest.
There you are, Father Tuck, just over this fallen log here. Well done. We're nearly to my Sherwood camp now.
I still don't see why I have to be blindfolded.
Pun intended.
Oh, ha, ha. If your career as an outlaw doesn't pan out, Robin Hood, perhaps you should become a jester.
I like a jester. They make hard truths digestible with a laugh. Takes courage and wit, that.
Your specialty is no doubt.
No doubt. And you'll just have to see with your ears for now. I blindfold you because, just around this bush, when the Sheriff of Nottingham asks you how you get to my camp, you can truthfully tell him you do not know. Honesty is the best song to hide a dishonest note in.
Speaking of songs, what happened to my parishioner, the minstrel Alan Adale? Last any of us saw of Alan was last night at the Blue Boar Inn when the sheriff set on him. The young man fled into Sherwood, and we feared the worst.
As I promised, all will be revealed at my camp.
If you're holding him for ransom, let the good lad go, and trade me in his stead. A priest is much more valuable as a hostage than a poor minstrel. There's no money in minstrels.
Admirable offer of you, Father Tuck, but I steal money, not minstrels. Though I wouldn't mention to the minstrel how cheap you fare him as a hostage. Wait, don't step there, that's a...
Ow!
Prickle bush. Sorry.
Lightning struck you, Robin. This is nothing but the blind leading the blindfolded.
Here now, I'll miraculously heal your sight. There, blindfold off. Father Tuck, welcome to our camp. Men, come say hello to...
Father Tuck, thank heaven you've come.
Alan Adale crushes Friar Tuck in a welcoming hug.
Alan Adale, praise God you're alive, my son. We feared we'd lost you to Sherwood.
Almost was. I was terrified, running for my life through the pitch-black forest, tearing through branches and briars. Finally, I collapsed with grief, wild beasts howling all around me. I thought surely I would die alone in the darkness. Then the blackest shape I had ever seen emerged from the shadows. I thought it was Hooded Death himself, but then the hood pulled back and there was Robin's friendly face, come to my rescue.
He was badly shaken when we found him. We brought him here and heard his tale, as well as sampled his excellent songs about me. All very accurate, I must say.
They've been so good to me, Father Tuck. Fed and mended me, even offered to help me make a fresh start away from Nottinghamshire where I'd be safe. But I won't leave without Ellen.
Thank you for rescuing my lost sheep, Robin Hood.
He's a good little sheep.
The songs were true, Father. Robin Hood's men are not the terrorizing scum the sheriff paints them as. In fact, they're quite merry.
Well, and who are these, merry men?
Good to meet you, Father. Put her there.
Oh, quite to the grip you have there, tall fellow.
Sorry. Don't always know my own strength. My name's John Little. The Robins christened me Little John. Get it? It's a joke. I must be the biggest man in England, and they call me Little.
Yes, very amusing, Jester Robin.
It's wordplay, see? Because the irony is that I'm little, even though I'm not.
Yeah, yes, I can see that.
I'm big.
I understand.
Big all over.
I get it. And what do you do for the gang, Little John?
I just told you. I'm big.
Little John's my second in command and the finest quarterstaffman my ribs ever met. He was a Hathersage blacksmith until he was outlawed for not being able to pay his tax debts.
Most taxes are stupid anyway. Just a bunch of entitled rich snobs charging other people to use the land and water God gave everybody free of charge.
Little John even led his own Sherwood gang for a while before he joined me. Oh, but knock it, where are my manners? Much, bring some of your brew for the thirsty father.
Water, Father Tuck. Much Peterson's my name. Humble as the ripest mulberry I am. Here you are. Alan told us you liked to drink. Sample this mixed wine I made special for your feast tonight.
Oh, excellent kick! There must be 5 gardens worth of fruit in there.
Apricots and dewberries, with purple grapes, green figs, and mulberries. You like it? Tell me if there's anything I can do to improve your drink.
There is. Refill it.
Andy, having a miller's son in the band. Much is a fine cook and trapper. He gardens all kinds of fruits and vegetables for us, even here in forest soil.
Good seed can grow almost anywhere as long as it's just loved right. Wait till you taste what I've fixed for you, Father. I'm so happy to have a priest come to dinner. Could you please tell us some Bible stories while you're here, Father? I've missed hearing them whilst living out in the wild.
Would be my pleasure, my son. What's your favorite story?
Oh, I have so many. Noah's Ark, because of all the animals. I like animals. Daniel in the Lion's Den, again, because of the animals. And Jonah and the Whale. I'd love to be swallowed by a whale. Wouldn't that be a legendary way to go?
Let's hope you don't find out. We'd miss you too much. Much.
Get it right.
Do you have a favorite Bible story, Robin?
I like Christ's parable where the rich man gets sent to hell for not caring about the poor man.
Of course you do. Now then, where are the rest of your men? Well, the sheriff thinks you have near 40.
Hear that much? Sheriff thinks we're 40 men. Never doubt your worth again, me boy. We're valued at, that's 20 apiece? Well, actually, 13 and a third divided among the 3 of us when I do it in my head.
Little John's good with numbers.
And I'm big. Brains and brawn. Perfect specimen, really.
Humble, too.
Said the pot to the kettle.
Well, what about the remnants of the other Sherwood gangs?
None of them wanted to join, except Little John. I wouldn't let them rob serfs or hurt anyone, particularly women.
You mean it's just the 3 of you taking on the whole of the sheriff's guard? Well, those odds are...
About 2,431 to 1. Damn, I'm good.
And again, humble.
More humble than you.
By Jove, you are not.
Am too?
Am not.
Much. Who's the most humble?
I am.
But why take such risk? Another pour, please, Much. Yeah, what could you 3 possibly do with all the money?
What do you think we do with it? Give it away, of course.
We're not thieves. Well, not in the proper meaning of that occupation. We simply redistribute money from them that can afford it to those who can't. The nobles are always making up laws to hoard luxury they'll never even use, where their people live on scraps.
Them taken need. Oh, sorry. Them without need, taken from those that have need. It's a problem. So we even resources out.
Don't you feel guilty about stealing?
When the way we uphold the law breaks the heart of the law, then the only way back to justice is to break the law. And if you justify seizing others' wealth when the rich do it, surely you can justify us seizing some of it back for the poor. Can't be considered cheating if you're already playing a game where cheating's one of the rules. Besides, who cares if the needy cheat a system built to cheat them?
The greedy being held to account to those who created their wealth for them. Who wouldn't like that idea?
Try the greedy.
So, you consider yourself today's Polybius, eh?
What in Scotland's balls is a Polybius?
Greek historian, developed political ideas of separation of powers to keep things in check. This what your Robin Hood theory will do?
We rob the rich to give to the poor. That's what we do.
You need to do it better.
I'm open to suggestions. More wine? Much. Do his honor the honor.
Well, I'm being wined and dined. Why do I have the feeling you're all buttering me up to ask for a favor?
You already seem well buttered to me.
Someone's not getting his favor.
Favor wasn't for him anyway. It's for me. Look, Father Tuck, tomorrow my Ellen is set to marry mean old Sir Stephen de Bracy at Holy Trinity Church. Then she'll be his forever, damning her to a fate of cruelty and misery. And good men must not let it be. She loves me and I love her more than life itself. So help me and the outlaw stop the wedding and marry her and me instead. Please, Father Tuck.
You want me to break the law?
Novel idea, innit? We pretty much invented it. Oh, only joking.
Alan, please understand. It's not that I don't want to help you and Ellen, but I can't. I am a holy man.
What's a holy man? Someone so elite they shouldn't have to get their hands dirty when it comes to standing up to injustice?
By the by, who do you think invented breaking the law?
Oh, Adam and Eve. Wait, that doesn't work for us. The serpent. No, that's worse. Clever animals, those snakes are.
Listen, men, as a priest, if I defy the law, I set an example for the whole church to defy it.
And the problem with that would be...
Is not the church the one place that's supposed to hold all to account for evil, even the law? Who else has that job? God is on your side. With him, all things are possible and all that.
Yes, with God, but I am not God.
You work for him. Time to earn your pay.
Well, what's in this for you, Robin?
Helping the poor survive the rich is my speciality. Besides, love is the one happiness the law has no right to interfere with. If I can save this poor couple, it's the right thing to do.
And you have a soft spot for love, don't you?
I don't take your meaning.
Yes, you do.
Listen, Father Tuck.
More wine first. We're having a day of sport and feasting to celebrate your visit. How about we kick festivities off with a little archery competition, lads?
I need to get back and let them know Alan's safe.
Hospitaller like yourself feels a bit rusty with a bow. I'd totally understand if you'd rather not participate.
You were a hospitaller, Father.
A long time ago he was. Now he's an aged man. Nothing to be ashamed of course, but probably hard to see the target at his age. So, no pressure, Tuck. If you just want to rest your knees and watch younger, stronger men draw you, perhaps we can give you some seed for the birds if you want to
Give me the
feed.
damn bow, boy.
Had a feeling you'd say yes. We're aiming for yonder oak target. I'll go first, shall I?
Beauty before age.
Finally, I get to see Robin Hood shoot. Hope you live up to my songs.
Oh, I don't think you'll have any complaints, Alan.
There's no better archer anywhere than our Robin. I've seen him unload an entire quiver into a bullseye ring at 40 paces. Target looks like a porcupine's back.
Oh, you're much too kind, Much. Watch this, Alan.
The twang of Robin's bowstring and the whiz of his arrow are followed by a satisfying thud as his shot lands in the bullseye.
That's a perfect bullseye.
There are 3 more twangs of Robin's bowstring as 3 more arrows whiz into the bullseye with clean thuds.
And that's 3 more. 4 perfect shots in a row.
Aren't you sweet to notice?
Robin porcupined it again. I like porcupines. Just 'cause they're prickly don't mean they ain't cute.
Satisfied, Alan?
Uh-huh.
Your turn, Hospitaller Tuck.
Robin hands Tuck the bow.
Well, it's been a while since I've shot.
The trick is to pull the bouncy string back and let go so it makes the pointy sticks with the feather go that way.
Oh, thank you. Oh, what a blessing to get a history lesson from Robin Hood, of all people.
It's nicer than the sword lesson I got from you.
You started that piggyback.
Wait, what happened? Robin, what did you do?
No, don't tell him. He'll just put me in one of your ridiculous songs.
Oh, bravo, father!
A bullseye as clean as Robin's 4.
Who's got the big bow now, boys?
Cheers to Father Tuck!
Hear, hear.
Happy you stayed.
Oh, well, I'm sure Sister Hickleby is. Must be overjoyed to be rid of me for a day. Pour me another drink, Much.
You know, if it does worry you, I'll go leave her a message.
No bother. Hickleby's probably enjoying a little peace and quiet for once.
While Friar Tuck enjoys his Sherwood feast, we return to Holy Trinity Church.
Oh no, bells. Holy Father, I beseech you, send your angels to protect Father Tuck. I know my last few prayers have mostly been complaints about him, like the time Tuck drank a whole bottle of ceremonial wine, or the time Tuck loudly blasphemed during Mass when he stubbed his toe on the pulpit, and last week when Tuck used the Holy Bible as a prop to open his window for a better breeze. Ugh. How do you solve a problem like Tuck? And yet, Lord, no priest has ever brought so much love to Nottingham, and the children adore him. He's so warm with them, like I wish I knew how to be. Help me love like Tuck does. Oh, just bring that bloated idiot safely back to us. Bring my one friend back to me. Oh, it's the Sheriff of Nottingham. Oh, devil take him. What on earth does he want now?
His Excellency, the High Sheriff.
I know who he is,
Sister Hickleby.
my Lord Sheriff.
You know, sister, you really must smile more. Brides of Christ should be joyfully married to our Lord. Your face looks as tightly round as a sailor's rope.
Might I inquire as to why my lord has blessed this parish with his presence when he's supposed to be out organizing the rescue of Father Tuck?
I've offered a handsome bounty for anyone with information about Robin Hood. Gold will find Tuck faster than my Foresters Guild will. Until then, I am here to set some facts straight regarding my investigation into the matter of Robin Hood's seizure of your priest. This alleged attack, you didn't witness it yourself, did you?
No, my lord. I told you, one of our orphans saw it and ran to fetch me. But they were gone by the time I went
Which
there.
orphan?
Which orphan? What? I don't recall. It might have been wee Caddy, the boy who limps after he was standing in the road when my lord's knights rode over him with their
No. I remember you said she, and there's only one girl in your care, Quenny Bartley.
As memory serves, I believe it was little Quenny, my lord, and the child is deserving of reward for alerting us to the danger, especially after all she's been through, what with her mother dead from starvation, and her father hung in front of her by you, my lord.
Oh, I do have something deserving in mind for little Quenny. Call her.
Back in Sherwood Forest, Tuck, Alan, Robin, John, and Much are enjoying their feast.
Robin carried you back across the street.
It is to laugh.
I had a couple drinks. The story was bound to come out.
Just a couple.
Robin, carrying Father Tuck across a stream. Merlin's beard. You want to see this stuff, not just hear it.
Robin, never pick a fight over a stream again. First you lose to me on that log, then the girl, now a priest. I called it. You are a terrible
outlaw. Yes, you've all told me.
Save us some more of my tender venison, Father Tuck. It's locally sourced, you know.
Illegally, no doubt. But yes, I will. Thank you. Much.
Too much is illegally good cooking.
Too
much.
Without me shooting the king's deer in the first place, none of us would be here tonight.
What do you mean?
Oh, well, my mother Midge ran the Loxley Mill. Robin lived nearby and was like a big brother, always looking out for us after me old dad passed. Of course, Robin was nowhere to be found whenever a certain young lady visited every summer.
Leave it, Much.
Early this spring we were low on food, so I shot a deer, but the sheriff's foresters spotted me. They were going to string me up right there in the woods, but who turned up but my boyhood mate, Robin? We all thought him long dead in the crusade, but suddenly he appeared out of the trees and fought them off. And that's when we were outlawed, and how Robin of Loxley became Robin Hood.
It was all much ado about much.
Is that so? The song most know is that you were a lord who gave up your fortune to protect the poor.
Me? A lord?
When people don't know the story, they fill the stories in. What is your story?
Wish I knew. Orphan's lot for me. Hugh Fitzooth, the Locksley gamekeeper, stumbled upon me as a baby, left in the woods wrapped in a blanket. For all I know, Sherwood itself is my mother. Fitzooth was a good man, took care of me after his wife died, never bothered with any legal hassle for adopting me, so I'm just plain old Robin of Locksley. Us yeomen weren't locked down to the Lord of Locksley like the serfs were, but yeomen weren't privileged like the nobles either. We saw both worlds and never belonged to either. I guess we'll never know where I really come from, but I'm happiest in the forest. That's the world I belong to.
Maybe you're really Scottish, Robin.
Oh, do you think Robin Hood could be a Scotsman, eh, little John?
No, you're not manly enough to be Scottish. Beautiful accent, though.
You could be Irish.
Oh, Irish I could be. I'd like that, to roam the Isles, Fens and Spinneys. Ha ha!
No, again, you're not crazy enough to be Irish. Or are you?
or you're Welsh. What's your Welsh sound like, Robin?
I'm Robin Hood, the Googler Brunswick Skiggler.
Well, maybe you're French.
French!
French? How dare you call me French? The very idea.
Blasphemy! Outrageous to say such a thing to Robin.
Those are fighting words. Not like the French can fight, but I'm just saying bad form.
Never call a man French.
All right. I repent. I repent.
You've got an ear for accents, Robin.
I like to dabble in feeling what others feel.
It'd be a happier world if more men felt that way.
Look not every man to his own things, but every man also on the things of others.
Is there a verse for everything?
When I've seen everything, I'll let you know.
More venison, Little John.
No thanks, mate. I'm full.
Little John's full? Now you've seen everything.
Back at Holy Trinity, the sheriff, Hurst, and Hickleby tried to question Quenny Bartley about what she saw.
Now, Quenny, the sheriff wants to thank you for being a good girl and telling us about Father Tuck being taken. Don't worry, sweet pea, I'm right here, not going anywhere.
Now then, Quenny, children always see more than they let on, do they not? And you are the only witness to what happened to Father Tuck. This is an official investigation by the law, and your testimony on this matter is all we have. I would not be a very good sheriff if I just took a little girl's word for it without carefully seeking out all the facts for myself, would I?
Quite so, my lord. A sheriff who does not thoroughly investigate all sides to a matter before rushing to a verdict is incompetent indeed.
I am speaking to this child, not you. Now, Quenny, an innocent girl has nothing to fear from the investigation of the law, but I see you are afraid. So, you must not be innocent. If you lie to me, you will be punished and burned in hell as a liar.
You will not speak to her with such...
Do not interfere with an official investigation! Now, Quenny, no more delay. Tell me exactly what you saw.
I went out back to play with my doll, and I saw Father Tuck in the stream. He and Robin Hood were fighting with swords. And then I ran to tell Sister Hickleby, and when we came back, they were gone. That's all, I swear, my lord.
Why would a priest have a sword, Quenny?
My lord, I can confirm that Father Tuck had a sword. And he was carrying it that morning for concern of the outlaws.
Where did he get this sword?
God knows. When I asked him the same question, his answer was he got it from the same place I got my drinking problem.
Quenny, let me see your doll. Give her to me at once. And what have you named her?
Millie, like my mother.
Now then, I'll give Millie back to you, only if you answer one last question for me. How did you know it was Robin Hood?
What?
You saw a man fighting Father Tuck, but how did you know who that man was?
He had a bow and was dressed in Lincoln green, and he was handsome like the songs.
But that doesn't mean he was Robin Hood. He could have been any outlaw or one of Robin Hood's men. But you didn't say that. You specifically identified this man as Robin Hood himself. You know what he looks like, don't you?
I don't
Pretty
know.
doll, this. Richly crafted, not one you expect to find given to an orphan's charity. Sister Hickleby, did you or Father Tuck give this doll to Quenny?
No.
So who gave you this doll, Quenny? Was it someone who takes things from the rich to give them to poor little orphan girls? Was it Robin Hood?
Quenny?
I hung your father for breaking the law, Quenny Bartley, and I'll hang you too if you don't tell me what you know about Robin Hood.
My Lord Sheriff, you are terrorizing this.
One more word loosened by your insolent tongue, woman, and I swear by the crown I protect, you will lose that tongue. Sir Hurst, escort Sister Hickleby outside while I interrogate this witness. And here, take this doll too. Burn it.
Hurst takes the doll and grabs Hickleby and drags her out.
No, unhand me, Hurst. My lord, please don't hurt her. Please.
You feel that silence, child? That is the sound of no one in the world coming to help you. Not Sister Hickleby or Father Tuck, not God, not your dead, worthless parents. It's just you, me, and the rod of correction. And even if it costs every tear and drop of blood you have, you are going to tell me everything you know about Robin Hood.
My lord, it's Lady Marian Fitzwalter.
Fitzwalter? Tell her I'm in the middle of an investigation. I'll get back to her.
The sheriff can't finish his sentence before the door bursts open and a fuming Marian, Bess, and Hickleby enter, followed by an apologetic Hurst.
There they are, just as I told you, my lady.
My Lady Fitzwalter, this is no place for...
My lord sheriff, why in the devil's name have you seized my ward without consulting me first?
Your ward?
Yes, Quinny Bartley. Come here at once, child. I paid the church for her to come serve my household. She was supposed to arrive this morning, but apparently she has been detained by you. Is that not so, Sister Hickleby? Is that not so?
Aye, it is, my lady.
There you have it. How dare you accost and hold my servant without my knowledge?
My lady, I was not aware that you had taken charge of this girl, But Quenny is a key witness in my Robin Hood investigation.
I am responsible for her.
But...
As a member of Queen Eleanor's court, you will show proper respect for my privilege as a noble by coming to me first regarding any investigation of those under my care.
She knows who Robin Hood is! Consulted with him! He gave her that doll!
Oh, she said that?
She was about to.
Then you would have forced a false confession. I gave her that doll.
You?
It was my welcoming gift for her joining my service. Hand me that doll, Sir Hurst, right this instant. Quinny, I gave you this doll, didn't I?
You did, my lady.
Case closed. Here's your doll back. Next time you want to take a little girl alone into a room to have your way with her, my Lord Sheriff, be prepared to answer to me and the crown your office upholds.
Now get the hell out.
No, there's no need for harsh words. We are in the house of God. A soft answer turneth away wrath, as scripture reminds us.
A harsh word is still a softer answer than if I were to tie a millstone around your neck and hurl you into the depths of the sea. If we're sparring with scripture, I believe that's what Christ prescribed as a suitable punishment for men who trouble children.
Quenny, next time comply, and do not resist the law.
There will be no next time. Good day, my lord.
Wait! My lord promised a handsome reward for anyone with information on Robin Hood. Quenny supplied you with a description.
Excellent point, Sister Hickleby. Well, my lord sheriff, pay the tax you owe.
Take your dirty money.
Thank you, my lord. I shall show you out.
Hickleby escorts the sheriff and Hurst out, leaving Quenny, Marion, and Bess alone.
Oh, thank you, milady. That was brilliant how you made up all that on the spot. How did you learn to lie like that?
She spent years at the court with the best liars on earth. The royal family.
Now, Quinny, I told a lie for you, so you owe me the truth. Did Robin Hood really give you that doll?
He did.
Why would you take something from an outlaw like him?
But he's not like the other outlaws. He's like Christmas. He gave Nathan Angus's family a bag of gold to help pay for that surgery on his leg. And they say he paid the taxes for every serf in mean old Sir Stephen's village. He gives to everyone who needs it.
Sounds like the Crusaders putting his booty to good use, my lady.
And what did he want in return, Quinny?
Nothing. Only asked if Father Tuck treated me and the other orphans all right. Said he and his men heard about my father being hung by the sheriff. So his man Little John carved me this doll, so I wouldn't feel so alone. He said not to worry. My mother and father are in heaven, watching over me now.
They were certainly watching over you today.
He also told me when he was a boy, he'd once known a girl who I reminded him of. She was a lady, but she had spirit like me.
Oh, and what did Robin Hood say about this girl?
She was the kindest girl who ever lived, always privately doing good for the serfs in his village, making sure they had enough to eat, and their clothes didn't have holes in them. But as generous as she was also very sad, he said.
Sometimes the nicest people don't know how to be nice to themselves.
Robin Hood said often the kindest folk feel the heaviest pains deep down, and not everyone always notices. So one morning, after she'd had a really hard day, he decided to cheer her up by secretly leaving her a bundle of her favourite flowers on her saddle. So when she'd find them, she'd remember there was still beauty in the world, and that someone noticed hers.
Robin left her the flowers.
The girl grew up to be the bravest woman Robin Hood ever knew. Being loving is the bravest thing anyone can be, he said, And he promised me that if I'm brave, I can grow up to help everyone like her. So that's what I'm going to do. The boys were surprised when I told them Robin Hood's hero was a girl. It's wonderful. I wish I could have met her.
Quinny, you were brave not to break under the sheriff. Keep your chin up and stay a good girl. And the next time you talk to Robin Hood, tell him to come see me.
Why, m'lady?
She needs to thank him for the flowers.
The merry men sit by the Sherwood campfire, listening to Alan play. They clearly have enjoyed a good deal of Much's wine.
Query. Might I ask you another theological question, Father Tuck?
Theological. It's theological, Little John. And yes, ask away. You've all been asking splendid questions all night.
Well, the Bible says Moses was the most humble man of all, doesn't it?
To quote the book of Numbers, Moses was a very humble man, and more humble than any man on the face of the earth was Moses.
But didn't Moses write that?
Oh, well, yes. Tradition supposes Moses was the author.
So Moses calls himself the most humble man of all time.
Well played, Moses.
Moses just hadn't met much yet.
Moses was as humble can be. We know this because he told us so humbly.
The good book's full of stories of men like Moses standing up to not-so-good governments, you know.
No one wants to hear about politics, Robin.
Well, then let's talk about religion.
That's worse.
Well, you know, Robin, Moses' first shot at justice was a miss. Do you all know that story? When Moses was still living as an Egyptian prince, he saw an overseer whipping a slave, one of his people. So, in his wrath, Moses murdered the overseer. But instead of change, he only turned both the Egyptians and the slaves against him, and Moses had to flee into the wilderness. Now, why do you think Moses failed?
He wasn't humble enough yet?
Because vengeance can't do what justice can. Well, salt and sugar look similar, but their effect tastes different. Justice is about restitution. It keeps repayment of wrong in proportion to the wrong. Balanced scales. Eye for eye. Tooth for tooth. Piggyback for piggyback, Robin. But vengeance, while it might seem like justice, is only truly about satisfaction of pain. You took my eye, I'll take your head off your shoulders. Your vengeance taxes the world to pain with interest, not caring if innocents are caught in the crossfire. And of course those innocents seek vengeance interest for their pain, and on an unjust world spins. That's why Moses failed. He was trying to solve injustice with vengeance. But vengeance is injustice and always leads to escalation of pain for one simple reason. No two wounded souls feel pain the same. So how can they measure their pain by the same scale?
What the sheriff did to Luke Bartley was more than eye for an eye. It was life for loaf, and for James Eliot it was life for the egg. He's trading lives for silver coins all over the Shire.
As Judas did for Jesus. The rich found a price even for the worth of Christ's life. Maybe that's why he said it was easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God.
Peculiar comment. Camel can't fit through the eye of a needle.
Yes, that was rather Jesus's point, Little John.
Wait, do you mean Jesus Christ was being sarcastic?
Sure.
Ha ha! Cheers, Jesus!
But what about all of you?
What about us?
You've robbed every coin off many decent folk simply passing through Sherwood, even ones who'd done no wrong. Is that justice?
We're trying to get money to the people who need it.
Oh? No, do the math, Little John. What happens when too many landowners lose all their profits because of 3 outlaws in the forest who cut off trade routes? Furthermore, who then gets taxed to pay for recompense? And who'll want to sing about those outlaws then?
Father Tuck is right. Most people like your songs when they're about sticking it to the sheriff, but they don't sing along if they were robbed.
But we just...
You stole all the taxes of Lady Marian Fitzwater, who had to pay twice over to protect her serfs from financial damage your recklessness caused. And now the Fitzwater estates will have to pinch in the winter. That's not justice or helping the poor.
Never meant to do her wrong.
If you don't understand where the limits of your convictions are, you will create as many new problems as the problems you're against. Then, no matter who wins, problems still abound. If you just blindly rob anyone, sooner or later the ripple effect will hurt everyone, because someday you'll end up putting an arrow through an innocent life, merely caught between you and the money you're after, just like the rich do. Then justice will have lost, and the money will have won. Your money is a powerful tool, but it's not a moral compass. You have to use it responsibly, or else what you're accomplishing, at a spiritual level, is no different from then. You have to use it responsibly, or else what you're accomplishing at a spiritual level is no different than the sheriff. Well, how do you feel now, Moses?
You speak salt in a wound, Father Tuck. I admire you for it.
Faithful are the wounds of a friend.
We have not been as heroic as our songs. I take responsibility. And I am sorry to have caused hurt to someone who deserved better of me.
Then tell me of your confession, Robin.
I loved a girl. She was rich. I wasn't.
Marian.
She held out hope, but I knew they'd never let us be together. Then came a crusade, a chance to be a hero and make a poor lad's fortune and belong in her world. She begged me not to go, but I broke her heart and took the cross. My marksmanship impressed King Richard. He named me Sir Robin and allowed me to serve as an archer alongside his personal Templar guard.
So that's where you learned that Templar grapple.
I went from an orphan nobody to a glorious knight, all because I could send a cloth-yard shaft through any life a rich man pleased. Holy wars are for unholy men.
Why did you leave the crusade, Robin?
After we took Acre, The king had us march over 2,000 prisoners to a hill called Ayadaya. Richard and the great Sultan Salahuddin were in negotiations, see, and Salahuddin stalled. So Richard had us line the prisoners in rows, up there in sight of Salahuddin's tent. Wanted him to watch what was about to happen. Then he ordered us to fall on our prisoners. We spent all morning hacking them apart. There was so much blood you could have swam in it. Still, Salahuddin didn't budge. Then Richard had us bring out the women and children we'd captured. And he gave the order again. Some hesitated. But the priests on hand told us not to fear, because God only cares about Christians. So soldiers of the cross beheaded children, split women, and speared babies. Some men actually laughed and sang hymns while they butchered. I watched as one lame boy tried to defend his mother with his crutch. I was supposed to be a knight of God, and there I was, standing frozen over a defenseless little girl with my sword raised. And in my heart, I knew I could not follow my country into this. I took the girl's hand, walked her to the king, and for the first time in my life I begged a rich man show mercy. Would Christ be pleased to have us massacre these innocents in his name? I asked. Richard pulled her up on his horse, sat her in his lap, and, by God, the man stroked her hair for a moment like she might have been his daughter. Then he shoved his dagger through her skull and tossed her corpse at my feet. Who gives a damn what Christ would do? He said. Win, I'll go home. So I chose home. And when I returned and saw my friend Much, a poor serf about to be hung for simply shooting a deer to eat, I didn't bother begging mercy from the rich this time. I'll never beg the rich again.
How did Salahuddin respond?
He slaughtered all his prisoners the following day. Some holy land, huh?
Do you all know what the word holy means in Hebrew? Holy means set apart, the way a tool is set apart for a specific task. But you wouldn't use that great quarterstaff as a longbow, would you, Little John?
Not the right kind of wood for it.
Precisely. That wood is set apart for its one job. God is love. Being holy to God means you have one job, to love. Any choice you make that isn't love is unholy, because it's not what you are set apart for. What does holy mean to you, Robin?
To be a good story.
Well, what do you mean?
Have you ever felt like you were living in a story you'd heard before? The story we find ourselves in is not a new one. Its tale is old as tyranny. In our story, those sworn by the law to defend our lives and livelihoods are in fact the very ones our lives and livelihoods are most threatened by. Proud men like the Sheriff of Nottingham make pious oaths of chivalry with noble words, but break those oaths with merciless deeds and taxation against those under their hand. This is not what chivalry is supposed to feel like. A rigged game where the rich sacrifice the poor for profit. This is nothing but injustice armed with the systems of justice. It's time an honest man called their nobility what it really is. Wrong. and a betrayal of the professed tenets of a Christian kingdom. My soul seeks no reward but justice, to see those who are mistreated be comforted, and the vulnerable be protected from crooked shepherds. I stand not against law and order, but against those who would misuse it to cloak their sinful gain and greed. You may brand me a thief for robbing the rich to give to the poor, but this proud breed of rich are the true thieves, taking dishonorable, even deadly advantage of the poor when it should have been their heartfelt responsibility to protect them. So I will instead by stealing back what they stole first. Because in a story like ours, where the law itself has become the villain, the only role left for a hero is outlaw. If we can pull this off, our story won't just be told in song by the lives we save, but by every life who feels like they're in our story. And I want to give them all a story worth singing about.
That does sound like a good story.
Do you want to be in it? Then help us. Help us love our neighbour and save Ellen Lindsay from marrying cruel Sir Stephen de Bracy and marry her to Alan, the man she loves.
I told you, I am a holy man.
I thought you just said holy men being set apart to serve love. What's more love than love?
Alan?
No, I love her. Sir Stephen has the personality of a whip. We can't let him take Ellen. We just can't. I can't. What was that verse you taught me? To him that knows the good to do and does not do it, it is sin. How can we be good men if we do nothing? Oh, please, Tuck. She is your sheep. Will you let a wolf like Sir Stephen maul her?
Faith without works is...
Like a bow without an arrow?
Like James Eliot under the sheriff's rule.
Dead. I'm in. Love needs soldiers. I will help you save fair Ellen, and if she'll have you, Alan, I'll marry you both the same day.
Hey! Now, we need a plan.
And it better be good. The sheriff knows how to get in your mind.
So we don't use our minds, eh?
No, John.
But you just said...
No.
Alan is right. No good deed goes unpunished in Nottingham. If the sheriff finds out I've aided you all, there'll be the devil to pay.
Then we'd better pray the devil doesn't find out.
The next day, at the manor house of Sir Andrew Lindsay, Ellen receives a surprise visit.
Lady Marian, Bess.
Hello, Ellen. Are you all right?
You look as pale as a dead fish, lass.
Bess.
I just threw up. 'Tis my wedding day after all.
Bess and I wanted to help with any preparations you need for the ceremony this evening.
It was good of you to join me in my last moment of freedom. Not that I feel very free at the moment.
I didn't want you to be alone.
How's Quenny Bartley? She was to be my assistant for the miracle play I was staging. I heard she's working for you now.
She's come into some reward money, it seems. Hickleby sent her to Kirklees Abbey for a better life. She'll make a good prioress someday.
I suppose that's best. Our play was cancelled anyway. No need for miracle plays when miracles are outlawed.
Where's your father?
Going over the finances with the fiancé. It's a meeting about my future, so naturally I'm not invited to it. But from what I've overheard, Sir Stephen has offered to pay handsomely for my hand.
Pay handsomely is all he can do, for he cannot smile handsomely. To think you'll have to wake up in his bed every morning. I'd stub my eyes out.
Bess, I'm sure Ellen doesn't need to hear that now.
Why not? It's refreshing to hear honest talk about what a sale my wedding is. My fate is being decided over an exchange of money without my say. I feel like a cow at market, except rather than milk, I'm being traded to be a vile man's decorative plaything. And men boast of this chivalrous world they've built. All for our benefits, of course. Even though they control the benefits, at least the cow gets left alone at night.
I am sorry, Ellen.
You're far prettier than a cow.
Why can I not marry who I love? What is wrong with love?
Sometimes it asks too much of us.
I would give up all I have to be with the one I love. Would not you, milady?
Any man who loved me wouldn't ask me to.
He might if you let him.
Is this the dress you'll be wearing, Ellen? We'll help you get into it. Bess?
And all of the places for this charade of a marriage to take place, a church. What a cruel joke, the church, founded by a man who stepped between an adulteress and a stoning, is the very place where this church is going to stone me, not with rocks, but with rules and rolls that will break and crack me open all the same. Why host such a loveless ceremony in a place that says it worships love? Might as well host it in a graveyard.
A graveyard wouldn't have matched your lovely dress.
Sir Andrew?
Lady Marian, it was good of you to attend my daughter. Would that her mother could have lived to see this joyous day.
Mother wouldn't have found nothing joyous about this day.
Ellen, she wanted you to be a lady like she was. Marriage to a knight can make you that, as it did for her.
But it is my life. It should be my choice. You know, when the king returns, everyone's going to have to make a choice over what kind of country we are. You're choosing the sheriff's way of greed. But the people chose Alan's songs. They chose Robin Hood.
Enough. Now there's a lot of money wrapped up in this wedding, and a comfortable position for you. All you need to do is be grateful and say your vows.
And what of your vows, father? When you became a knight, you swore an oath of chivalry. I've heard you repeat the words of the Song of Roland 100 times, to protect the weak and defenseless, to fight for the welfare of all, to respect the honor of women. That was your vow. Where does not caring about my choices and dreams fall under those words? Who will protect me from chivalry? I am your daughter. Who do you fight for but me?
Money will protect you. That's why I am arranging it for you. Do you think a father who brings such fortune to his daughter's purse does not love her?
Then let me choose my own love. Let me choose. For once, let my voice be my say. Father, please.
I wish I could. Now I must go prepare for the Bishop of Hereford's arrival. He's performing the ceremony. Lady Marian?
Andrew?
Oh, someone help me. I cannot endure this. I cannot. Oh, God, if I were a man.
There, sweet friend.
We're sorry, lass.
I'm starting to understand how Robin Hood must feel. Better to be outside the law than to be its victim. Why is marrying this hard?
Grief is not very different from illness. In the impetus of its fire, it does not recognize lords, it does not fear colleagues, it does not respect or spare anyone, not even itself.
Who told you that?
Queen Eleanor of Aquitaine. Come now, Ellen. You can be strong. And when you can't, you can come visit me. You don't have to do this alone.
And don't forget, that brute Stephen is old. Hopefully he'll die soon, and then you can be a wealthy widow and remarry with stakes of your own. This might be the worst day of your life, but it's still the day you'll get rich.
Bess, nothing and no one could make this day better.
Meanwhile, behind Holy Trinity Chapel, Tuck and Robin are hoping they can make this stay just a bit better.
Here we are, Robin. This is the secret door that will lead us unseen out through the back of my church.
Good. Alan, John, and Much are in position too.
Did Alan snag you that jester costume from the Merry Quills?
He did. I have never been so excited for a disguise. Here, help me put it on.
You wear other disguises?
Oh, yes. That way I can get money to the poor in plain sight and spy on the sheriff. By the rood, these tights are tight.
You flatter yourself. Here, let's paint your face now.
I've dressed up as all sorts, a beggar, a bailiff. I even go as an odd peddler who sells squill tales on Mondays.
Oh, that's you, is it? Yeah, why am I not surprised?
All done. How does Jester Robin look?
Like a peacock got trampled by a rainbow.
I was going for gaudy grasshopper. Either way, it'll be enough to fool the Bishop of Hereford.
He's a fop for get-up. Wears that ridiculous hat and oversized gold crucifix chain. Yeah, if there's anything Christ would find tasteless, it's a golden idol of his own execution device.
Gold, you say? Well, never fear. I'll do Christ a favour and rid his churchmen of such worldly trinkets. After all, Alan and Ellen will need a wedding present. Hand me that lute of Alan's. I need to tune it.
You think you'll ever take faith seriously again?
I follow Christ. Right out the door, I followed him. God is love, you say, but love certainly isn't the rule of our pious sheriff.
But love seems to be the law of Robin Hood. I don't chide you for your heart. You're trying to create a little fairness, and God knows it did. But good intentions without wisdom cut trails to nowhere good.
So, what tactics would you advise?
When you stop travelers, don't take everything they have. Take a percentage. That way you can have some for the poor and the economy can still flow. Call it a Sherwood toll. Though the rich can afford a little extra tax after all.
How about this? When I stop a carriage, I'll offer them a choice. If they tell me the truth of how much money they're carrying, I'll only take a lesser percentage for the poor. If they're honest with me, I'll be fair to them. But if they lie, I take the lot. That'll be a way to retrain the rich to start being honest about money.
I've got another idea. Well, invite some of them to feast with you here in Sherwood. Breaking bread together is how we defeat enemies, by turning them into friends. Show them a merry time, and they'll see you're not the cold-blooded wolf's head the sheriff's railed about. Many of the rich are so protected behind their comforts, they don't even know about many of the poor's struggles.
Educate them with food.
As Abigail did with King David. Full bellies disarm many conflicts.
And a couple drinks won't hurt either.
Win them over to your mission. That way the money won't just change hands, it'll change minds. Then you'll start making a difference.
And if they don't want to, then I'll just charge them for the meal at the same tax percentage they'd charge their serfs. Teach them a little empathy. Good idea, Tuck.
Like Moses, I too am a humble genius.
Sure, you're not cut out for outlaw life. Stay with me and my men. You could be our chaplain.
I already have a flock, Robin. Besides, I am a priest, and to me, lasting reform means caring about more than treasure on earth. Our souls need attention too.
My soul's already been through one failed crusade. I don't want to lead another. I need a wiser man to refine the heart of my mission. And with the fight we're sure to face, we'll need your physician skills. We could even set you up a hospital here in Sherwood. I'd supply you with any medicines you'd need. You could treat every serf for free.
But, Robin...
And if the remnants of the Sherwood gangs knew there was a priest with us, someone to guide their souls and tend their hurts, I know they'd leave their head robbing and join up with us. Just think of it. With all the gangs united under my charitable mission, and you as our priest holding us spiritually accountable, there's no end to the good we could do. Your life could serve God and Sherwood more than it ever could have at Holy Trinity. And at last, out here, there'd be no church to get in your way.
Well, it is a tempting deal, I must say, Robin. I never thought I'd meet a haggler dressed like an outlaw disguised as a jester.
I wear many feathered caps. But there is one condition. If you join me, you cut back on your palate. I'm not saying you go dry. But look at you, man. You're not healthy.
Yet still enough to whittle you with a sword. Of all things in moderation, Robin, even moderation.
Tuck, I respect you. But I've seen haunted soldiers drink themselves to death before. I need a sober mind to give me sober advice. Marry and enjoy a cup of 4 at dinner, but leave it at that. I'll learn restraint, if you will. That's my deal.
That's a fair bargain, Robin. I promise I will consider it. But first, we have a wedding to save. Look here, coming down the road to the chapel, it's the Bishop of Hereford and 2 sheriff's escorts.
Stick to the plan and say a prayer for us. Time for me to jester. Watch me lay the sweet on this sick dragon. Good evening, my handsome Lord Bishop.
Oh, good day, Jester. Why, aren't you a bright sight? It's all right, men. Only a jester.
Only the best jesters for your wedding, your holiness. There's not a knot in Nottingham who don't want you to tie it.
Oh, I love a jester. You make me laugh.
Why, look at that shiny golden cross you have, holiness. This is surely to be a richly blessed wedding.
Richly indeed. It's a fine chain. Thank you, Jester. And I like your hat.
And I like your hat.
Oh, Robin, don't overdo it.
Oh, God bless your reverence for our sacred person. Come, let me hear a song while we're waiting for the rest of the wedding party.
The only song I'm about to play on a wedding day will be for the bride. I do hope you'll let me accompany you into the chapel, your reverence. I'd love to say I was part of a merry wedding hosted by a godly pillar such as yourself.
Not sure how merry this wedding will be. The bride is young and the groom is old, and I hear she loves another.
Well, then Providence has brought me to your worship, for I change love's fortune. Would my lord allow himself the delicious pleasure of placing a wager on it?
Methinks a small gamble couldn't hurt.
Naughty.
Naughty. Name your wager, Jester.
If you bring me into the chapel, my old lute will play so sweet, I'll wager you 20 gold coins that I'll make the bride love the man she marries today.
Indeed, I'd pay to see that. She's marrying De Bracy, horrid old bear. Besides, it's only church pocket money, eh? You're on rogue.
Rascal.
rapscallion.
Devil.
I like him. Guards the jesters with me, and soon he'll owe me 20 gold pieces. Into the chapel we go.
Let the merry wedding begin.
Inside of the chapel, the wedding is about to begin. The bishop and Robin in disguise are up front. Marion, Hickleby, Bess, and the sheriff are all seated in anticipation of the ceremony, as are many of the sheriff and the Bracy's men.
Who are all these miserable-looking folk, your worship?
Friends of the bride, must be. And all these guards are with the sheriff of Nottingham, who sits up front with Lady Marion Fitzwalter.
Good-looking that one is. And I do not mean the sheriff.
You'll ruin me. And this is Sir Stephen de Bracy, the groom.
Hello, your holiness.
De Bracy, congratulations on your happy day.
I'll be happier when this wench turns up. I hate being in church, not allowed to have a sword. Let's get this over with, eh? Not one for pomp and ceremony, just get us vowed, drunk, and into here she comes, arm in arm with her father.
The assembly turns to look as Sir Andrew leads Ellen into the chapel.
I've never seen a bride so sad.
Money's as good as mine, boy.
We shall see.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered today to witness the happy entwinement of these two souls.
Take my hand, girl. I said, take my hand.
Sir Stephen is interrupted by the entrance of the panting Friar Tuck, who looks as if he's been running hard. The crowd buzzes.
Help! Call for the sheriff, help!
Tuck, you're alive!
Someone get the sheriff!
I'm here.
My lord, you must make haste.
Where have you been, Tuck?
I was held prisoner at Robin Hood's Sherwood camp. I overheard the outlaws' plans. They know you and your men are here at this wedding, and they mean to hit the castle strongbox while you're away.
They're breaking into my castle?
Even as we speak. Oh, they left me tied up, but I broke loose and ran here as fast as I could. Oh, you and your men must head to the castle immediately.
Guards! To the castle! Sir Stephen, your men will also come with me.
What about my wedding?
Oh, stay here and have it. Come on, Hurst.
And with that, the sheriff, Sir Hurst, and the guards rush out, leaving the wedding unprotected.
Well, if you want to just continue, my lord the bishop, I'll just take a seat and catch my breath, shall I? Yeah, budge up, Marion.
What is happening?
A wedding, I think.
Well, this is certainly a lively wedding. Now then, hoping there will be no more interruptions, if anyone has any objections as to the marriage of this man and woman, let them speak now or forever hold their peace.
Speaking now. This marriage is a disgraceful sham of duress. Sir Stephen is a vicious old boor, and poor Ellen shouldn't be forced to marry him. True love will not see the injustice of it. How's that for an objection?
This is not a funny jest, Jester.
I was not jesting, you saucy old snake. I say for once, let's hear the lass's side of it. Ellen Lindsay, do you want to marry Sir Stephen?
I do not.
Ellen!
Who is your heart faithful to?
Alan Adale.
Then by your faithfulness, you will have your heart's desire.
What is this?
You know, the first miracle of our Lord's ministry was for a wedding. Want to see another wedding miracle? When I play this lute, the bride shall love the man she's going to marry today. Little John, bring in the groom.
The chapel doors open once more, and Alan, Little John, and Much enter. The crowd voices their happy approval.
By faith.
Alan!
Hello, my love. Gorgeous gown.
Everyone keep calm. Nothing to worry about. Just two ridiculously handsome bowmen here to make sure this romantic heist stays peaceful. Much, get the door.
Alan a Dale. And those bowmen are Robin Hood's men. That means the jester must really be...
Oh, no. Not again!
I am deeply wounded you didn't recognize me from the first time I robbed you, your worship.
It's the costume. Not bad, actually.
Cheers. How do you like my accent?
A little forced.
Ouch.
What is this?
A wedding? Just not yours.
It's Robin Hood, you idiot!
Oh, and I won our bet, by the way, so I'll be taking your purse and this lovely gold crucifix.
By the devil, outlaw, I'll wring your neck.
This sword of mine says otherwise. Stand down, De Bracy. Now, all, welcome to the wedding of Alan Adale and Ellen Lindsay.
I won't be a part of it. You can't force me to marry someone.
That's what you were doing to me, you wicked hypocrite.
How right you are, Ellen. Father Tuck, get up and do the honours, or I'll make the bishop taste the virgin milk of the mouldy, holy relic.
Oh, please, Robin Hood, not that.
You wouldn't dare.
Care to place another wager on it?
Robin gives the bishop's hand a little slap with his sword.
Ow! Oh! Get up and marry them quick, Tuck!
I have no choice.
You planned all this, didn't you, you stealing priest?
The outlaws made me. I was their hostage. Robin was on the inside, thanks to you, and his men had me on the outside. What could I do? I had to play along.
Play faster, Tuck. Let's get these lovebirds hitched.
Father, please.
Be happy, daughter. Your mother would be.
Is this really happening?
Love conquers all.
This is wholesome.
Alan Adale, do you take Ellen Lindsay to be your wife, to love her, honor her, and to be true to her for as long as you live?
I do.
Ellen Lindsay, do you take Alan Adale to be your husband, to love him, honor him, and to be true to him for as long as you live?
I do with all my heart.
What God has brought together, let no man put asunder, and by the authority of the church I pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss.
Your lives goodbye.
No, it's the sheriff.
It's the sheriff.
The sheriff is
And all his men!
No, my lord, not now.
Oh, plot twist, Robin.
You really didn't think I'd fall for such a simple plan, did you?
Alan, get behind me.
Whatever happens, I'm not leaving you this time.
Drop your bows. My crossbows outnumber you 15-1.
It's actually 21-1. Eat a fart.
Not the time, mate.
No weapons in the house of God.
A bit late for that, sister.
Robin?
We surrender. There's civilians here. I don't want stray crossbow bolts shooting into the crowd.
Oh, what a heroic instinct.
Well, someone has to actually protect innocent lives. It certainly isn't the law's style these days.
A thief lecturing a sheriff on morality? You really are a bold outlaw.
I only stole back nothing you hadn't already stolen under the guise of the law.
technically, it's not stealing when the law does it.
You're right. Technically, it's treason.
Shut up! I will have law and order. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hang you and your men off the bell tower of this church. Right here, right now. And I'm going to throw in Alan Adale and Ellen Lindsay to hang alongside you for partaking in your insurrection. Guards, seize them!
Sir,
No, my lord.
No.
my lord, no!
Thick neck. Besides, I need you to show me where their camp treasury is.
Sound logic, William. People should be murdered for trying to get married. What an appropriately measured response by a leader whose heart's obviously full of Christian charity.
Whinge away, Robin. I still won. Get the rope, men!
My lord, stop this. Hood is a notorious figure. There must be a public trial.
Oh, no need, Marion. I am the law. I had the trial in my head already, and I decided guilty.
That is not what the law requires.
Oh, send me a complaint. I'll take it up with me.
My lord, please, spare my daughter.
A little late for parental sentiments coming from you, Sir Andrew.
De Bracy, will you let him execute your future wife? She could still be yours.
Yes,
No!
Let this day serve as a lesson to all of you. You mess with the law, you mess with death. I am the anointed avenger of God's wrath against this sinful world and the long arm of the law against all who defy my order. To defy me is to defy God. I am law and order, and I will...
Shut the hell up!
The crowd is shocked as Tuck slaps the sheriff, pulling out a hidden sword.
Moses Beard! Tuck just slapped the stuffing out of the sheriff!
And he pulled a sword on him too!
I have the sheriff hostage. All of you, drop your weapons and release the outlaws now.
Tuck.
Do it now, or I'll take off your sheriff's arm.
My lord?
Do what he says.
The guards reluctantly release the outlaws, Alan and Ellen.
Tuck, what are you doing?
Turning the tables on this money-changing murderer.
Have you lost your drunken mind, priest?
Never felt more sober in my life. To everything there is a season, including a time to keep silent and a time to speak out. And the time for the church to speak out against the law's overreach is long overdue. God forgive my letting a cold-hearted, treacherous wretch like you move with impunity through my church while abusing the law and dealing out death and destruction in the name of Christ.
You're a blaspheming fool!
Blasphemy is doing the devil's work in God's name. And for a bully like you, beating and crushing people's lives while calling yourself an enforcer of Christian virtues, that is the heart of blasphemy. And may God damn your goddamn blasphemy, William.
I am the law!
You've violated the heart of the law.
Oh, and what's that?
Love. Listen to me well, all of you, for this will be my last sermon in this church. Everything we do, every choice we make with money, with justice, with each other, love must be the why of it. Well, look at what Alan Adale and Ellen Lindsay have been through, just to hold on to the love in their hearts. Love is life's natural condition, our most human quality, and God's ultimate command. You are not the law. Love is law. And to dishonor love is to dishonor God's law. For God so loved the world. And Christian sheriffs should know better.
Oh, is this loving, what you're doing? Holding a sword on me?
You were about to slaughter my sheep. You gave this shepherd no choice. Whom the Lord loves, he disciplines, William. And since no kingly authority is here to hold you accountable, other order demands we must.
You're just a priest of a puny parish. You have no authority over me.
I am a knight hospitaller and appointed father of the Holy Church, and as a member of the Church yourself, you are therefore under my spiritual authority. And I have the power to excommunicate you, which I now do.
You'll lose your life for this.
On the contrary, I just found it. Robin Hood, I will be your chaplain.
Welcome aboard. Now, we've overstayed our welcome. John, Much, Ellen, to Sherwood through the back door, now.
You know I'll come after you. Why not kill me now?
My king commanded me to love my enemy, and I'll keep trying to, right up until the very moment that enemy forces me to end him. And until that alterable future comes to pass, I pray God have mercy on your soul, William. If you ever need confession from an honest priest, you know where to find me.
God!
With me.
And now our heroes have reason for another Sherwood feast.
I love Sherwood. I love her even better now that I can share it with you lot, my merry men.
And merry lady.
And merry lady, Ellen Dale.
Oh, I love the sound of that.
Know what I love?
Me.
That certainly was my favorite wedding I've ever conducted. I am happy for you both.
We owe our happiness to you, Father.
And to you, Robin.
And to me, and Little John. You're welcome.
Where is Little John?
He's bringing some friends of ours to come join your wedding breakfast.
So, Tuck, you finally broke the law.
According to St. Augustine, an unjust law is no law at all. For too long, the church has strayed into protecting its own power and status at the expense of the people's humanity, the poor in particular. And we, as the clergy, have been complacent in enabling a ruling class that holds the law in its pocket. There will always be a time when the church must reject conforming to the world's injustices and confront them. Yesterday, when you were all about to die, was my time.
Then it's a good thing you were strapping.
John's back.
Might I present Sister Hickleby, Lady Marion Fitzwalter, and this lovely lass is Bess Duffy, my lady's lady-in-waiting.
Hickleby, glad to see you.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad to see you too.
Ellen, congratulations.
Thank you.
My Lady Marion, remember me? Why, I haven't seen you since our days at Locksley.
Hello, Much, old friend. Robin.
Thank you for coming.
And thank you for the tour, little giants. By the way, you're strong, smart. Would you happen to be Scottish?
I'm from Derbyshire.
Well, nobody's perfect, but you'll do. Give me a tour of the trees.
After you all left, the Bishop of Hereford named me head of Holy Trinity Church. Said it was too much trouble trying to keep a priest there, so they'd let me run it in my own way.
My first morning, you told me Nottingham needed a priest of true character to look up to. I think they finally have her. You'll do a fine job, Hickleby.
I don't think I would have found the heart for it had it not been for you.
Here, sister. Some money to fix that roof leak.
Thank you, Robin Hood. And you should be prepared to add more men to your band's roster. Many of our congregants told me that last night changed how they see things. They plan to join you. And it sounds like that sentiment is growing.
Speaking of sentiment, Robin, might I borrow you for a moment? There are 5 things I need to say to you, and I need you to just be quiet and listen.
Sure, I want to listen. I do.
That's not being quiet.
Sorry.
1. Do you have my money?
All of it. You may take it back with you, with my apologies.
Where do you get it?
Here, there, and to Bracey. His payment for Ellen had to go to someone, so I snagged it. I didn't think you'd mind.
I don't.
Tuck and I have made some tactical restructuring, and I promise we will be wiser in how we rob the rich from now on.
Good. 2. What you did for Alan and Ellen. So much as I hate to feed your pride, Robin, I have to tell you, you're a hero.
When 2 people love each other, the world shouldn't get in the way. Don't you agree?
3. Little John told me about what happened in the crusade. Matoka. And about how you became outlawed, saving much. I'm sorry. Not just because of what you went through, but because I didn't listen. You are my best friend. I owed you the chance to hear your story.
And I'm sorry I didn't listen to you either, Marion. I should never have gone on crusade and left you. I was a stupid young man. I was wrong not to listen to you. I was wrong to...
Robin, I know. Thank you. 4. I am noble, and that is not going to change. My serfs rely on my lands, and I cannot just shrug off that responsibility so I can run off into the woods to join your band. But, as a noble, I have inside access to Nottingham's money. I'm offering you my services as your bank and spy, but on these terms. I do not take orders from you. I do not put my people at risk for you, and when it comes to my rules of engagement, my word is final.
I accept these terms.
And finally, 5. Thank you for the flowers.
You're welcome. How did you find out?
A good spy doesn't reveal her sources. Why didn't you ever tell me it was you?
Well, you gave me my first bow and never told me.
I didn't have to. Much could never keep a secret.
Doesn't sound like Quenny Bartley can either. I missed you.
Glad you didn't die.
Oh, I tried. Just can't seem to get lucky enough.
We should get back to the others. Much probably made an incredible breakfast cake to celebrate the wedding, and John and Bess will have already eaten half of it by themselves.
Yeah, what is going on with them? Are they...
The less we know, the less we have to imagine.
She better not break his heart. Speaking of hearts, that door to yours, the one you said was closed, bolted and protected by armed guards against the likes of me. Is it still shut?
Not as tightly. And if the armed guards handle a sword like you, it's really vulnerable.
Oh, is that so? Gods that handle a sword like me are rubbish. Is that what you're saying?
In my experience, they would be.
Have you also beaten him with a sword?
No, not this again.
Soundly.
Robin, you really are a
Terrible outlaw.
Outlaw.
Yes, well, he's a terrible priest.
Now that I'm an outlaw, I'm not even a priest anymore.
What would you like to be?
When I was in the Holy Land, I remember there was this young order of hermit monks living on Mount Carmel. They roamed freely and served the world outside of any church rule. The true, simple life. They just called themselves the friars. It means brothers. That's what I am now.
Well, where are my manners? You two have never officially been introduced. Robin Hood, meet Friar Tuck.
This is a good friar. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Friar Tuck. I am Robin Hood, a terrible outlaw who robs the rich to give to the poor.
And why do you do that, Robin Hood?
Because love is law, Friar Tuck. Love is law.
Amen.
Robin Hood must die.
Oh, yes, my Lord Sheriff.
Sir Hurst, I have never hated anyone more than I hate Robin Hood. Not even the man, but the idea of the man is the gravest threat to law and order I've ever faced. And thus, he is the most dangerous threat to the church and the crown I protect. And now he's got that priest Tuck making him look religiously sympathetic, and that minstrel Eleanor Dale singing false beliefs about him. He could spark serious rebellion. Robin Hood might single-handedly destroy this country.
The men have expressed concerns about his spreading influence.
People are stupid. They'll hear his charming, coddling message, watch him do a few tricks with his bow and arrow, and think his way will make their lives better, but it will only lead to insurrection, economic collapse, and the inevitable deaths of all who join in his crimes. He must be taken out by any means necessary before he poisons more people with disloyalty.
What do you propose, my lord?
Have Sir Graves ride out to Yorkshire tomorrow. He's to send for an old friend, someone who could destroy Robin Hood once and for all.
Who is he to send for, my lord?
Guy of Gisborne,